The Trump administration is reversing a Biden-era extension of the temporary protected status program for Venezuelan migrants. Around 600,000 Venezuelans currently have temporary protected status, allowing them to work and live in the U.S. legally. Former Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas extended the program 10 days before President Trump's inauguration. CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez joins us now. Camilo, what could happen to the 600,000 Venezuelan migrants in the U.S. if they lose their temporary protected status? And why did the Biden administration give this status in the first place?
Lindsay, this is by far the largest TPS program out there, covering more than 500,000 Venezuelan migrants currently living here in the U.S. At the end of the Biden administration, the Department of Homeland Security, led by former Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, ordered an extension of that program by 18 months. It was supposed to run through October of 2026 next year, giving Venezuelans ample time to find another immigration legal status that is permanent, because TPS, as the name indicates, Lindsay, is temporary in nature and is designed to provide a temporary relief to people who are coming from countries beset by war, environmental disasters, or other crises like Venezuela and their economic collapse. But now the Trump administration has reversed that decision by former Secretary Mayorkas. And so that means that the people who have TPS could start losing it as soon as April of this year, in a couple of months. And if people who currently have TPS lose that status, Lindsay, they lose their ability to work and live here in the U.S. lawfully, and they also become eligible for deportation by ICE. And of course, that is the agency, Lindsay, that, as you know, has been charged by President Trump to oversee the largest deportation operation in American history.
What are some other legal means of immigration that you have found the Trump administration has been targeting?
This is such a critical question, Lindsay, because, yes, the Trump administration is overseeing a dramatic crackdown on illegal immigration, including at the U.S.-Mexico border, by shutting down the asylum system there to those who are entering the country unlawfully. But it is really important to note that the administration has taken other actions to target and restrict legal immigration. For example, the Trump administration has halted Biden-era policies, Lindsay, that allowed the U.S. to legally screen and welcome Ukrainians, for example, who are fleeing the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Afghans trying to escape Taliban-controlled Afghanistan, and other migrants from other crisis-stricken countries like Venezuela and Haiti. The Trump administration has also closed down immigration offices that the Biden administration set up in Latin America to screen people for legal immigration programs and also deter them from traveling to the U.S.-Mexico border illegally. And importantly, Lindsay, the U.S. now has indefinitely suspended the U.S. refugee program, and that allows people who are vetted overseas and who prove they are fleeing persecution because of their religion or politics or other reasons to come here legally after years of vetting and screenings. And so this is really a crackdown on immigration across the board, Lindsay, not just illegal immigration.
Yesterday, I asked you where the Trump administration is housing and detaining these people that they are rounding up. We have some news on that today.
That's right. So the president announced just a few hours ago that he is considering using Guantanamo Bay to detain as many as 30,000 immigrants who are living in the country illegally. He said it would be used for the worst of those who are arrested by ICE. We don't have a lot of details about this potential plan. What I can tell you, Lindsay, is that the U.S. has been using a base there and a center there, a facility there, to house some migrants who are intercepted at sea, like Haitians and Cubans, and who ask for asylum. And they are housed there while their cases are adjudicated and while they await the proceeding of being referred to another third country like Australia for resettlement, because most of the migrants intercepted at sea, Lindsay, are not allowed into the U.S. That is a policy, a longstanding policy, I should add, that has been in place to deter maritime migration, which, of course, is really dangerous. It is unclear whether this plan would be an expansion of that facility, but obviously we still are looking for details on that potential action by the president.
Camilo Montoya Galvez, thank you.
Thanks, Lindsay.